Here is something nobody tells you. You can know GPT inside and out. You can use LangChain, Claude APIs, vector databases. You can even build a working demo in a single weekend and still walk into a system design conversation and you have nothing useful to say. Now that is the gap. And that's what we are here to close. Welcome to AI Architect System Design. Think like a senior engineer. Let me set the expectations right now. This is not a tools course or this is not a certificate preparation. This is the engineering judgment training. Now, here is what I mean. The industry right now is flooded with tutorials, and the tutorials are great. They teach you how to use things, how to set up a rack pipeline, how to call an API, how to chain the prompts together. But here is the problem, guys. Knowing how to use the tools is not same as knowing how to design the systems. These are two completely different skill set, and most engineers never realize that until it's too late. Now, let me make this concrete. Let's do one thing. Let's pick up a scenario so that you can follow along with me in a much better way. Let's say a company which is 50% SaaS startup would come to you and say as we got 10,000 support tickets a month and we want to automate 60% of the tier 1 stuff and I want you to build an AI system. Now, if your first instinct is to open the coding editor and start writing a prompt, you're thinking like a junior. If your instinct is to reach for LangChain, set up for RAG, maybe throw in some agent, I would say you're still thinking like a junior, but a more experienced junior for sure, I would say, but you're still a junior. Here's what a senior engineer does with that exact same request. They'll start by asking the question, what is the budget? What is the latency requirement? What is the accuracy that we need? What happens when the system gets it wrong? And what does the tier 1 would actually mean? And who actually defines it as a tier 1? What is the cost of a bad response versus a slow response? Did you notice something over here? There's not a single question about the tools. There was not even a single question about which model to use. Every question is about the constraint. It is about the problem. And that's the shift. And that's what this course is all about. Now, to make this concrete, I want you to observe what we call it as this gap map. So this is something that we call it as a gap map. On the left-hand side, you are seeing the tutorial word. It's simple, it's clean. So a simple prompt would go into an LLM, you get the response and you're done. Everything would work and it's satisfying to see that in the demo. Now on the right-hand side, you are seeing something called as the production world. Now, this is where the things get interesting. You have the input validation, you have a router, you have a retrieval logic, the LLM call, which by the way is just one piece now. And you now have the output validation, escalation path, monitoring, retry logic, cost tracking, error handling. It's messy. It has got branches, it has got failure points everywhere. And this gap between the left side and the right side, that's the gap that you are about to close with the learning journey with me. Now, here's the thing that most people don't realize. The gap over here is not a knowledge gap, it's a thinking gap. You don't need to learn more tools. What you need is you need to learn how to think about the systems. Now, let me tell you what happens when you try to skip the gap. And I've seen this pattern repeatedly. You'll build a demo, the demo is going to work, the leadership gets excited, and you're going to ship it. Week one, it's perfect. You're able to handle 80% of tickets, and everyone is celebrating. And on week two, the 20% that it can't handle starts generating the customer complaint. But there's no escalation path. Those tickets just disappear. The customers get frustrated and some of them will stop using the product itself. And on week three, you realize that the system is costing three times as what you had budgeted because you have used the most expensive model for everything, right? Which will include the simple FAQ lookup that could have been handled by a cache itself. And on week four, someone finds out that the system gave a customer completely wrong refund information, which is confidently logged and with it, and there's no tracing or there is no logging to trace as how it has happened. Now, here is what matters, guys. None of these over here are never the tool problem, and every single one is a design problem. In other words, we call it as a thinking problem. Now, let me draw this line as clearly as I can. A junior engineer will hear the request like build an AI support system, and a junior engineer would start thinking as I'm going to use LangChain plus RAG plus agents for this given purpose. But a senior engineer hears the same request and thinks as what problem are we actually solving? What is the simplest architecture that can work right here? The junior will lead with the tools, but the senior leads with the problem. The junior designs for the happy path where everything would work, but a senior will design for a failure path where things can break. The junior system works in the demo, the senior system works in the production. So, this course over here is about crossing from one side to the another side. Now, one thing that I want you to understand about what you're getting here, everything in this course, the mental models, the failure pattern, the decision framework, the architectural thinking, this is what engineers spend 2 to 3 years learning the hard way in production by shipping things, by watching them break, fixing them at 2 a.m., getting burned by a decision which they made maybe 6 months ago. We are actually compressing that into about 7 to 8 hours. Not because we are skipping things, because we are cutting straight to the judgment, the part that actually takes years for you to develop. So here's the reality check, guys. Every tutorial shows you how to build. Nobody shows you as how to think. That changes now with this learning journey with me. Now, in the next video, we're going to look at as exactly why tutorials do not directly translate into the production. And I'm going to talk about the three specific gaps that you generally miss. So I'll see you on the next video.